When is a masterclass not a masterclass? Yep, still in the Caribbean. As I said in last week's rant, this was a chance for both of us to kick back and relax. For me, I've also had an anxiety attack, which was something to do with stuff that was happening back at home, followed by a cold, and then that generated into a cough. So yes, relaxing is a word. I'm not sure I'd call it a word for the last few days, I have to be honest. But I haven't been burning the midnight oil out here in sweaty Jamaica. It is currently 7:30 in the morning and the humidity is just starting to kick in. I can feel the sweat starting to sort of bead off me, and yet I'm wearing another nice loose linen shirt and not a lot else. Got shorts on down below, but I haven't been out in the nightclubs here. Haven't been doing anything, just been relaxing. In fact, I've got to be honest and say most nights in the last week I've probably been in bed by 10:30, and that is a frightening thing to admit when you're in a place like this, but it's kind of what my body needed. Anyway, but what's this been leading me onto is that I've been catching up while I've been here on research for various things that I've got in the pipeline back in the UK. So that's repairs, ideas for videos, and other stuff. That's of course in between bouts of sunbathing and going in the sea and the pool. And there's a lovely pool just below me down here, which is my apartment pool, but you can use any pool on the complex, and there's a lovely pool just behind the apartment. There's, I don't know how many pools there are in this complex, but there's quite a lot of pools, including the swim up bar pool, which is behind me that way. In fact, actually, there's pools everywhere. Let's get on with that. So sunbathing, rather sleeping, done a lot of sleeping, but it leads me, while I've been doing this research, to the terms used by people to get you to click their video.
Remember, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Go over to Instagram and follow me there. Go over to Facebook, follow me there. That's where the normal notices are. And consider becoming a Patreon.
It's where I have to say, what is actually a masterclass? What do I define a masterclass as? Well, the way I define a masterclass, or my definition of a masterclass, is a subject matter expert, somebody who really knows their apples and oranges, presenting information in such a way that it's taken to be definitive, as in, this is the thing. They come in all shapes and flavours, masterclasses. You can have acting masterclasses, you can have accountancy masterclasses, you can have masterclasses in business entrepreneurship, you can have masterclasses in how to program your synthesizer. But the masterclass is being given by somebody who is considered a subject matter expert in that field, and they are giving information to you in such a way that it is definitive. This should not be confused with tutorials. Now, a tutorial is where somebody imparts knowledge about a subject, not necessarily in a definitive way. It's more of a classroom learning type environment. And I would consider many of the videos that are on the channel tutorial, because they're trying to tell you guys how to do something on the channel. So that's kind of where I would be with the videos on the channel. What I would say is that what I wouldn't say is any of my videos I would classify as masterclasses, because in many instances I do not classify myself as a subject matter expert in how to do something. Yes, I do have a lot of knowledge, and I do try to impart that knowledge onto you guys, but as I said, I would classify myself as all the videos as tutorials rather than masterclasses. So that kind of is the definition of what I think a masterclass and a tutorial actually is. So you're probably sitting there thinking, what the hell is he bumbling on about? Why am I talking about this? Well, quite frankly, I'm fed up of watching so-called masterclass videos that are clearly not masterclasses. They're sort of titled in that way to get you to click them. The other day I was watching a video about a specific instrument that I'm currently restoring. I'm not going to say which one it is. And it was meant to be a masterclass on a specific area. But in reality, it was just a videographer just playing the instrument. Bobbing his head like so, and pointing his finger at the screen every now and then. There's no masterclass in that. It's someone playing the instrument, bobbing their head and doing that. It's not a masterclass. For God's sake, work it out. You're just playing the instrument. Why was this not a masterclass? Well, he didn't state what knowledge he was trying to impart. No knowledge impartment. There was no explanation about what he was doing apart from the aforementioned bobbing head and pointing finger. In fact, he didn't speak at all. So I didn't actually last too long through the video, if I'm brutally honest. It didn't go too much further. But by using the term masterclass, people like me were looking for information on a subject. I had clicked the video because it was a masterclass about something. And therefore, like me, many of you may have clicked the same video link, watched it for a few minutes, probably got an advert in, and then realised that actually it wasn't imparting any knowledge. Very rarely do I put dislikes against people's videos on YouTube, because most content creators try to create content, and very rarely do I actually put a dislike on a video. But this aforementioned video got a dislike from me because it truly was misleading. And there's a line between bending the truth and just completely misleading, and this was misleading, so it got a dislike. Let's look at YouTube as a platform. I forget how many hours of content is uploaded to YouTube each hour, but it is quite phenomenal. From the man that puts his head in a car door to deep political analysis of Joe Biden's premiership, which I must admit, when I watched the other day, wasn't particularly, what's the word I'm looking for? Complimentary, shall we say. But of course, you know, on our side of the pond, we have Bumbling Boris, and he gets equally as many hilarious commentators. But the reality is that sifting out the chaff is a difficult process without clickbait titles. And people are being taught to put clickbait titles into YouTube videos, and it really annoys me. I got accused of putting being clickbait a little while back, and a lot of people who follow the channel on a regular basis thought it was utterly hilarious that I was being called clickbait. Because my video, well, I don't think my videos are clickbait at all, and I try not to use sensationalist titles to my videos because I'm trying to be a true representation of what the video is, rather than have clickbait titles with hollow content. If it's not a masterclass, don't call it a masterclass. If it's not a tutorial, don't call it a tutorial. How many videos do you go through? Leave a comment below before you find a video that actually gives you the information you wanted, as opposed to titles that claim to give you the information you desire. I've been looking for specific videos on specific subjects, and it really is a problem having to click through all the videos that are not what they say they are. You know, if it's going to be giving you information, it should give you information. In terms of my videos, You know, people quite often when they find my videos leave a comment saying, "Wait, hey man, this is great. I've been looking for this content for ages." In most cases, my video would have been on YouTube for probably many months, maybe years, depending on what the subject matter is. And yet they've only just found it. And they've only just found it because they've had to wade through all the clickbait to get to the tutorial. Now, many of the videos on instruments on YouTube are about people playing the instrument. And a lot of people want to go and hear the instrument being played, and that's fair enough. But it's not a masterclass and it's not a tutorial. Now, my channel obviously is a niche channel. You know, I only have 3,200 subscribers to my channel, which I'm actually quite proud about, because I'm quite proud there's 3,200 people who want to watch the content I produce, if I'm brutally honest. But the problem is that doesn't give me enough gravitas on the YouTube algorithm to actually promote my videos right up the top. Whereas, you know, if you're sticking your head in the car door and slamming it shut, I mean, that's far more interesting content than content on a synthesizer, of course. The video, if the video description content bear no resemblance to the video, I start to leave comments now. However, not all channels are as open as mine. I have a policy on my channel that if you leave a comment and it's negative, as long as it's not defamatory and well argued, I will post it. But I do reserve the right to rebut. Okay, very good American phrase. I like rebut. After all, the way I look at it is we all have an opinion, and we don't have the same opinion. In fact, actually, there's a good thread going on at the moment between somebody and a bunch of subscribers to the channel, where his opinion is different to theirs, and it's making quite an interesting thread as it starts to turn out. The only thing I'll ask is, if you do leave a comment on my channel, please wait for the jack to wear off first. So, fair warning. From this point on, if you publish a masterclass and it's not, or if you publish a tutorial then it's not, then I'm going to set Shaun the Sheep on you. And don't be fooled by his cuteness. And on that note, live long and prosper. Bye bye.